Has it ever happened to you that someone, knowing you're a writer, says, you know what you should write about? And then they tell you an idea, or three, or five? And has that ever happened to you at a time when you don't really have much to show for the things you are working on? Right? Like there's this monumental disconnect between what people think a story is and what a story actually is, between what an idea is and what a story is. And because this disconnect is so profound, it can take writers a long time, a very long time, to understand that an idea and a story are very, very different things. I heard someone say that an idea is like smiling at an attractive person across the room, while finishing a story is like having 3 kids with that person. So here's the thing, because ideas are easy, it happens all too often that a writer will launch into one only to go in endless circles trying to write it out. It can take years and it can be truly, truly demoralizing. I work with a lot of memoirs, novelists, and screenwriters, and when I read their drafts, one thing I see a lot is that they often have an idea, but they don't have a story. So what's the difference between an idea and a story? Well, an idea usually is a kind of what-if scenario, right? It's a set of interesting or unusual circumstances. A story, on the other hand, is how, over time, one thing transforms into something else. So the idea of the Matrix, for example, is that machines are farming human bodies and using them to power a dystopian world. The story, however, is about how an ordinary computer programmer becomes the savior of humankind. The idea of, say, Forrest Gump is that 30 years of American history can be told through the life of a single individual. But the story is about how a divided nation turns into a unified nation over the course of the tumultuous 1960s and 70s. There are a lot of smart people out there who talk about the characteristics and rules of ideas as opposed to stories. Definitely seek them out if you can. The point I want to make here is that an idea by itself is insufficient. It must also work as a story. And for that, you need to have clarity on who or what is going to transform from one thing into another. Okay, next up we talk about what we might call the big beautiful idea and why it is the most important thing to understand about narrative. I hope to see you there.